Albinism is a rare genetic disorder that affects humans and animals. It also affects plants, but because of albinism's effect on one's genetic structure of not being able to produce melanin, plants who have albinism don't usually live for very long because they cannot produce chloroplasm, which turns them green and allows them to do photosynthesis. The chances of someone having albinism, a human having albinism, are 0.005% or 1 in 20,000, and for animals it is 1 in 10,000 to 1 to a million. There's not really a number on plants on how often they become albino or have albinism because they don't usually live very long. In humans, there's different types of albinism: type 1, type 2, and type 3. Type 1 is white hair and very pale skin. Type 2 is pale skin but light colored eyes. And their hair color is usually yellow or blonde or even brown. Type 3 has reddish brown skin and their hair color is usually a ginger or light color brown. And their eye colors are usually hazel or brown irises. This leads me on to my next point. People who have albinism usually do not have the best eyesight, or the eyes will stagger, or they won't always have the best vision. This is because of the pigment that is in their eyes that connects to the cornea. There was a study done with monkeys to show the different colors of the corneas, which affects the eyesight of the monkey. And this also affects humans as well.
Thank you, Sean, for agreeing to this interview. So, what are some things that you go through as an albino person that you thought were normal?
So, albinism is a genetic condition where the body doesn't produce melanin, which melanin is responsible for giving pigment to the skin, hair, and eyes. So, having the lack of pigment in, like, my eyes, for example, it is heavily associated with, like, poor eyesight. I have a stigmatism and everything because of it. And so, that's, like, one aspect that I always kind of thought was normal. But it wasn't until I got older that I realized like that it wasn't normal. When I'm like 18 years old at the DMV trying to get a driver's license, and they're saying that I have the vision of like an 80-year-old man, and that if anything happens, they're gonna take my license away, and it's because of my like poor eyesight. Another thing is, having such pale skin. I have to like really limit my exposure to the sun. Going outside in the sun, it's made it hard to like kind of enjoy things like outdoor activities and stuff like that because like I could go outside and 5-10 minutes later I could literally feel like my skin starting to burn. Whereas anyone else, it starts like for them to kind of get to that same point, the sun has to be a lot more intense, or they can be out there outside a lot longer. But for me, it's like physically uncomfortable. So it's like, oh, I have to go to the shade. I need to go back inside, or, things like that.
Quick oversight, real quick, on what I was saying about albinism. Albinism is a recessive gene that is passed down parent to child through genetics.
Both parents need to have the recessive gene. Albinism, the term albinism, when it was first described,
One's from 1809 to 1803, and then 1906. So you can't really track when it was coined or when it came from.
Forgot to add this part in. So a few more things about albinism is that if you carry the gene, you don't need to be albino, but both parents need to have the albinism gene to pass it on. And there's not really a treatment or a cure, but for stagnant in the eyes and to help you with your vision, you can get surgery. So there's some pictures, if I can find them, I'll put them up on the screen, of my brother. He would have like this patch on his eye for like eye surgery. It doesn't give you 20/20 vision, but it helps make your vision stronger. But other than that, there's not really any treatment for it. The long term is the eye disorder and the skin disorder along with the pigment, which is from, or the skin is from the pigment. And to wrap it up, I have seen this case in my life. I've seen pictures, videos, and also my brother, which I have interviewed. And I am a carrier of this gene because my mom is my mom, my full biological mom, and she had my brother who is albino, but he's only my half brother. So that means I need to carry the gene for him to be albino, which he is albino. So my mom plus my dad's brother equals him. So I do carry the gene, and I do plan on reproducing. I'm not really worried about my kids being albino, because I don't think it's nothing crazy where like their bones are hollowed out. So anyway, yep, this was my video on albinism. Thank you. Title card, perhaps.